And the very intention of being in this now moment, sensing, feeling, and knowing the soul pulse that pulls you, acknowledging it, and more importantly, following through in the whispers and the pull that has always been with you. And as you have walked, beloveds, your spiritual path, that pull becomes stronger and stronger. It is that soul pull and pulse that brings you to knock upon the door, to move besides and through the veils of obscurity. For indeed, beloveds, you carry within the very blueprint of your genetic codes, which you understand is not only biological, but it is simply a manifestation in its most gross expression of higher levels of which it is connected with. And so indeed, the thought of the mind, the emotions of the heart, and the vibratory frequency of the temple you call your biological, which connects you deeply to the sacred earth. And may we see, beloveds, that indeed for many of you are glimpsing in the re-remembering of your many sojourns, your many travels, when you close the physical eyes of the physical body. And that is when those higher dynamics come into full play. And as you raise the frequency of the physical body, as you raise the frequency of all your subtle bodies, even as you walk a physical, mental, and emotional world, there is the ever expanding, the higher vision, the re-remembering, the cosmic gateways, familiar, deeply seated within your own DNA, as each memory begins to spark a codon, as each memory begins to move a dormancy that has laid quiet for so long. For indeed, beloveds, we say, for most of you, the journey did not start in this lifetime in a biological body, but indeed the imprint within your own DNA, within the energetic field of your atomic and subatomic levels, holds the records of your cosmic journey. And so there is that part of you that begins to rise in most. It comes from the beginning or during their pathway and moving forward with the soul pulse that calls them. And we say to you, beloveds, there's many now that no longer question, for that has been part of the journey. For it has been very, very cloudy with the veils. And indeed, it took the faith of moving through the challenges of obscurity, moving through the challenges of not knowing. But as you have persevered, we say to you, the very subtle fields, the electromagnetic fields beyond your physical body is activated, and thereby a more activated layering of subtle bodies you now walk with on a regular basis. Yes, indeed, just like anything else, just as learning a new skill, it took time for you to move through those points that would activate, reveal, and trigger these ancient codes that you hold within you. And as the great rising sun that brings light to darkness, as the great phoenix that rises from the ashes, here you are in this moment. In this moment of divine, sacred, holy timing, that in this experience, in this linear time as you can perceive it now, and as such, in the three-dimensional, three-density world you are in, as that is part of its laws and guidelines. And indeed, you are in that world and must walk that world, but you are very aware of other worlds that you are part of. And the mastery, beloveds, is when you can integrate the multiple worlds that you are part of, bring it into a cohesive, balanced, and anchored peace. And so you know to breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath, because you remember on a constant basis that you breathe the breath of Brahma, you breathe the breath of God. And each and every sacred in-breath and out-breath is a sacred prayer. And we say to you, beloveds, those who have come into the higher awareness of the multiplicity and the interdimensionality of truly who they are, remember the sacred breath, for it is indeed the cosmic in-breath and out-breath that all creation is a part of. And we say to you as you walk your path of mastery, you remember as you go throughout your day, consciously your sacred breath. Indeed, beloveds, there is, as many ascended masters would tell you, the conscious breathing to where it is a regular and normal experience of breathing consciously all of the time. And we say to you, as you put forth that intention to do so, it will unfold. Where indeed, as you bring in the sacred in-breath and out-breath, as you are constantly aware of this divine, holy connection to the source of all that is, to the Creator, as you remember the sacred breath, conscious of it all the time, brings in that energy field from the higher parts of yourself. From the higher parts of yourself begins to integrate, begins to commune in your day-to-day energy field, even in a physical, mental, and emotional body. Indeed, beloveds, we ask you to breathe the holy sacred breath now. The discussion of breath was therefore put forth from the beginning. Let us expand on it. And as you choose now to be very conscious of your sacred in-breath and out-breath, as you can begin to feel, sense, and know the frequency, vibrations shifting and moving within your own physical, mental, and emotional bodies, as you consciously breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath, you are one with the source of all there is. And you feel it move through your nervous system in the biology, not only in the nervous system, but in all the biological body systems. You can feel it coursing through the bloodstream of the beating heart, that in fact is a cortex of light. And this cortex of light is moving through the very crystalline matrix within your blood. And within the blood, a sacred substance of which humanity has forgotten its role, its blessedness, and its grace. That the very crystalline matrix of which you are a part courses through these nanoparticles within the bloodstream that moves throughout the entire physical body. But then too, this crystalline matrix is aligned with the higher crystalline matrix of the sacred earth. And indeed, within the grid system, there is a resonant field. And that is why, as you align yourself with the highest parts of yourself, the vibrations of the crystalline matrix of which and what you are, align with the higher matrix of this sacred earth. And as you rise in vibrations, you move into the grid system of the sacred earth, bringing in the higher vibrations that are able to remove and realign energies, to be able to pierce through blockages and distortions and miscreations, to be able to rise upon the limitation of a parameter because the vibration is that so much higher, to be able to pierce through and break free of the parameters of limitation. And as each frequency within your own physical body, the mental and the emotional, come into the higher alignment of sovereignty, of freedom. Indeed, it is the coding and the cosmic memory coming back online with each and every conscious in-breath and out-breath. And even as you remember it in your day-to-day activities, to take a moment and to breathe consciously until it happens normally and as a habit. And so you bring in the radiance, not only for yourself, but indeed to all those that you are influencing. Indeed, all those that come into your path, that come into your vibration. Indeed, to all those that surround you, but in multidimensional levels. Indeed, the reconnection and a connection with Emi Shaddai, the family of light. Indeed, the many, many corridors of interdimensional worlds. Indeed, the re-remembering of the many mansions. And as you consciously breathe, beloveds, as you make note that in your day-to-day activity, you remind yourself with the intention, I will remember to breathe consciously as I go throughout my day. You will begin to experience the radiance of who and what you are, rising and expanding as a great rising sun, and the connection to all that is in light, not only to your sun, Helios Vesta, but indeed the sun behind the sun, behind the sun, connections to the great celestial lights, in a higher alignment with the higher celestial worlds of light. And so indeed, beloveds, we say to you, as you walk your path of mastery, it is the guidance of your higher soul that is connected to the Creator that you love with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your might. It is that pulls you, guides you, And as you breathe consciously, there is the emanation of divine light that protects you and guides you in all of your ways, in all your expressions, on all levels. And as you create this expanded, radiant light within you and around you, you draw the frequency of the higher beings of light that have always been there with you. Indeed, beloveds, so nurturing and supportive, because there is the cosmic memory and understanding of the soul that you are, that the love that you are capable of unconditionally to choose to come into this physical experience of a three-density world. And we say to you, beloveds, that we have said in the past, it is the children of light upon the earth who have not forgotten, that are indeed the greatest alchemists of all. For they are able to walk the many worlds at once, and indeed the density worlds that they have come lifetime after lifetime to master and to grow, to be able to come into a moment of ascension and understanding, bringing back their cosmic memory, being willing for it to be wiped. And in this seeking, in this journey, in this following this soul pulse over many, many lifetimes, and as you follow it, gathering wisdom in a physical, mental, and emotional experience, meanwhile, ever connected to the higher parts of yourself, now becoming more in the awareness field, even as you still walk in a physical, mental, and emotional body. Beloveds, this is mastery. And know that this vibration that you emanate so radiantly, so strongly, that moves upon the many, many frequency bands, reaches the highest of the celestial realms, that reaches the most radiant ones, that beckon you now to remember the very councils that you are part of. And as these memories begin to glimpse in dream states, you'll find yourself engaging with many, many, many beings, where you find yourself as both the teacher and the student, because the loving guidance that comes to you is multiple on many planes, in many vibration, but integrated into a singularity that is building now in your own antakarana, the tube of light connecting you to source. As you rise in your vibration, as your love of the divine moves you forward, as you move beyond the challenges, the distortions, and the unknowns, it is in the rising within the very crystalline matrix that holds the light and the higher heart that beats with unconditional love, opening up its vortex that much more, revealing the divine spark, that yod, that fire, that flame that you are. And so we say to you in the ascended realms, great love and indeed joy, as we see the children of light upon the earth move in their vibrations, knocking on the door after door after door, and each and every time great revelations and the sparking of cosmic memories, of ancient promises, of divine collaborations coming back as each codon turns on, as each crystalline matrix within the blood becomes more prominent with light, as it moves into the higher fields of light within and beyond the planet, into the higher celestial realms of light, being able to be in the world but truly not of it. And as you master this, beloveds, as you walk your path of light, as you emanate your great ability to hold light and to emanate unconditional love, you now walk, reside, and be in higher dimensions, now being able to integrate into the field that you hold in this physical, mental, and emotional body. Indeed, you will begin to see, sense, and know those radiant ones that draw close to you. Your telepathy will become that much stronger, your sensitivity that much aligned. And knowledge will come to you without you not knowing how in a physical, conscious state, but accepting it because you are aware of your travels in the many, many mansions, in the many, many councils, and the collaborations of many beings who are aligned with the singularity of the divine directive, the divine plan. No, beloveds, you are intricate, important, and vital. And we say to you to walk your path of light, walk your path of unconditional love, rise in vibration, moving beyond the gravitational pull of the earth, to be able to be in that mastery, to have great impact upon the earth as your physical body is part of her. Know that you are loved and you are supported in the great, important work that you do. Question nothing about who you are, what you are, and the ability that you have. For indeed, it is the world that you're in that want to distract you or impinge in you doubts or fears. You indeed are beyond that. And know that you rise and you are not alone, for you are part of the Ami Shaddai, the family of light. And so you can walk in the world with confidence, with power, and with love. For each and every one shows the way shower as the Christ. Emanate your light, stay aligned, and rise with the sacred in-breath and out-breath. And as much as we would want to stay in this state of perfect balance, anchored peace and bliss, we know those parts of us now come into the awareness of the return. And we make a mental note that we hold this vibration as we go about our day-to-day activities, and a special note before we fall asleep to bring forth this intention. Remembering the sacred in-breath and out-breath as often as we can to amplify this grace that has been poured, that has been shared with all those connected through the heart and the mind in higher service. And so we prepare ourselves with the attention to be back awake and alert. And as the great radiant ones begin to draw in their electromagnetic field, we know to draw in our electromagnetic field. Bring ourselves back with the intention that on the count of 3, we will be back, awake, alert, and grounded. 1, 2, take a deep breath in. And 3, we are back, awake, alert, and we are grounded.